Let me first start by saying this. I've played 2K since 2K13, and to say that I'm a 2K fan would be an understatement, because truthfully, I love 2K. Some of my best memories in gaming come from the early 2K days. I vividly remember Pretty Boy Fredo's reign on YouTube. You know when you heard SSH, shit was about to go down. Better yet, you know when you heard Coding Crazy, the video was an absolute classic. Those days are gone, unfortunately, and now the day is full of endless, unforgiving microtransactions. Shameless at that. When I'm loading into the menu spamming A because I'm impatient, I'm all of a sudden in the Microsoft store checking out for the Battle Pass. What the fuck is that? It's absolutely ridiculous. I miss the old 2K, and I know it's a trend now to hate on people who say that, but I genuinely miss it. Maybe I miss those times in my life, and maybe I miss the YouTubers that were coming up at that time, but when I think about the early days of 2K, my memories are filled with joy. Hopping on after school and playing with your best friends was a great gaming experience. I think this brings us to my first point, and that's the change in VC prices. You know, I think my favorite video about this topic is one that Agent made. Agent went back and found the prices between each 2K, and I don't think the results are surprising, but I do find the video extremely interesting and entertaining, and the link to that video will be down below. Like we've been saying as a community for years now, it is impossible to grind your MyPlayer out. Can't shoot? A simple swipe of the card can fix that. Can't finish? A simple swipe of the card can fix that too. Can't dribble or can't afford animations? 2K's got you covered. Don't worry, just hand over your money. I can't even imagine the grind it would take to get the VC to max out your MyPlayer. I don't think I would wish that on my worst enemy. I think where I'm the most frustrated is the lack of originality. Each 2K has the same iteration of a duo that will rain nightmare on any former 2K player. The classic pick and roll big guard lineup. And for years this duo has been the meta. Damn near every team you came across was running the same exact lineup. A big who could do nothing but set picks, and a guard whose A button was never pressed. Oh, I guess I'll give an honorable mention to the thrall that sat in the corner and never touched the ball. That is until I played 2K23. My first next-gen 2K was 2K23, and boy was I in for a rude awakening. New meta emerged. When I got into the builder, I was greeted with something quite opposite than pie charts. 2K, as I knew it, was gone forever. The meta of the ISO guard and the pick setting big was still there, but now had evolved. Usually to stop the meta, you would play sides and switch. In this particular game, I backed up from the big on the perimeter setting a screen, and he proceeded to shoot a green in my face. He then did it again and again and again. I was sick. But this was nothing compared to the true meta, the rise of the 6'6" rim running guard. On 2K23, I would argue that out of all of the games I played that year, 3% included players smaller than 6'6". It was really bad. Moving to 2K24, that meta still lives on, and I fear is never going away unless something has changed. My fix? Bring back pie charts. Now, I know what you may be thinking, but hear me out. When you think of your favorite 2K, which one pops in your head? Go on, take a second, and think. Genuinely think. What is your most favorite 2K? I would bet that 2K included the pie chart builder. Why did this builder work? Because it brought balance to the game. Pie charts were fun. They forced you to be creative with the limited bag that you had. You were also forced to play to your strengths. For example, if you're a big, you're not shooting unless you went with a more shooting pie chart, or unless you are genuinely good at the game. And that's the way that it should be. Every build on the court should not be shooting threes. 2K says it's becoming more and more realistic, but also encourages endless threes and endless steals for every build. This brings me to my next point. The rec. I really want to like the rec. The group that I play with has at least 5 people on a majority of the nights that can play 2K. When we subject ourselves to these particular nights, we usually lose, and we lose badly. So through those losses, I've been able to think about my biggest hates and qualms with the game. We end up losing at the end of the day because of steals. The steals in this game are absolutely outrageous. You think that prime Deion Sanders with glue on his hands was on the court. This comes down to one argument. Make the courts wider. A majority of players prioritize speed as one of their attributes. This is fine, and I have no problems with that. However, if a majority of players have speed, then why would you not make the courts wider? Making the courts wider would limit the amount of unrealistic steals that some of these builds get, and you know the exact skeleton face builds I'm talking about. With all of this being said, I think my biggest complaint with the game is the new RPG-like features. One of those features that I hate the most is the city. The city sucks. I hate it. I could not tell you one redeeming quality about it. It's empty, it's way too big, and it's confusing to navigate. I could go on and on, but my point is the city is a terrible design inclusion. Why would I care about walking up to the arena if my arena does not even look like the arena in my hometown, or wherever my player is playing at? Bring back the old park. This is not an RPG. This is a basketball game. With the city, the park becomes unplayable. The parks are empty or everyone is streaking, and if you want to find a new park, you can't. They took the feature out. What happened to the tunnel systems that brought you to a new city? The wait times to play park are at an all-time high, and it takes so long to find a game. An hour later, you find a game, and the dickhead random is pulling from half court. Again, it's unplayable. This probably doesn't need to be said, but I'll say it anyway. The affiliations are trash and they're lackluster. I feel no pride playing for my affiliation, and the park designers were certainly not cooking with the current layouts. Make the parks like 2K16, 17, and all of the other ones. Small and condensed, easily accessible, and quick to get into a match. Also, why would they take out the 4v4 courts? This used to be some of the most fun there was in the game. My last complaint is targeted at the rewards. Every reward in the Battle Pass sucks. Let's start off with that. The only reward I actually grinded for was the New Orleans City Edition jerseys. I'm a Pelicans fan and I loved them this year. What happened to the days of the long grind? When being a superstar actually meant something. When you pulled out that basketball and walked around and people would come and look at you. But why grind when you can use your hard-earned dollars? Simple as that. Put your credit card in and every reward in the game is yours at the snap of a finger. Hours and months of grinding ended with one press of a button. Is this really the culture we want in gaming? Again, these are just the views from a casual 2K player, from my own perspective. You can disagree with them all you want, that's fine, and I encourage you to, but talk about them in the comments and let me know what I got wrong. Thanks for watching.